Hey folks, Tom Gentile, America's #1 pattern trader. Today I want to talk about how to read an options chain. So those of you that are trading options or new or getting ready to trade options, one of the biggest things you need to understand is how to read an options chain. All right, so we're going to take a look at Apple. I talked about it on the last video, and I want to show you a little bit more of an in-depth reason as to why you might decide to pick one option strike over another. So let's get to my laptop. Here we go. So this is basically a breakdown of the call options, the near money call options that I'm looking at right now in Apple. All right. So as you can see here, and I've got them all laid out for you. Option symbol is going to be the actual option symbol, which includes the strike price and the expiration date for that desired asset that you're looking at. So, for instance, we just looked at paper trading in the last video, the Apple 2019 January 18th 150 calls. All right, remember they were $2.98 by $3.05, and I looked at trying to bid them in at $3. All right, so let's talk about what those mean. The $2.98 and 302 and 305, they represent three different areas. The bid, all right, that's the low part of this particular equation. The offer is the high side, also referred to as the ask. And then this little area in the middle is the mid price. It's the distance between the bid and the offer right down the middle. All right, gives me an idea of how far off we want to be as buyers or we want to be as sellers. So again, the bid is the current price that you can sell the option for at the market. The offer is the current price you can buy the option for at the market, and that mid price just gives me an idea of what the option is fairly valued at that time. All right, so that's the one thing I look at. The other thing I'll look at is something called extrinsic value. Extrinsic just means the time value of an option. As you get more familiar with option terminology, you'll understand what extrinsic value is, all right, what intrinsic value is, what IV is, which is a very big proponent for successful options traders. Also the options delta, which again, this is really gives you an idea how fast that option is going to move relative to the price of the stock. Right? There's a tool that I like to use called the percent to double. Now, in my software, what I do is I look at finding those particular options that have the lowest number in that area. That means that all I need is this stock to move. In this case, Apple. If Apple moves 5.24%, that I should expect that option price right there to double in value. So a 5% move, a little more than a 5% move in Apple, and I have a double on those Apple call options, right? The other areas I look at are volume. How much volume traded today on these particular strikes? And as you can see, the 150 call had the most volume for the day. And then the other one is open interest. That means how many people right now have an open position on, all right, that they haven't closed up yet in Apple. And right now, most of the open positions are in the 145 calls, right? Our 150 calls have a lot of open positions in them too. But these are, when I'm looking at options and I'm looking at the table of options, the most important thing. The stock price, which at the time was 148.26. Everything in this case that is below that in terms of price, 148, 47, 46, 45, 44, those options are more expensive. The 149s, 150s, 152.5s, look how they get cheaper. But keep in mind, just because something's more expensive doesn't mean that you want to just throw that out, all right? There's a lot of times, most of the time, I'll take the expensive option up to a point, all right? Because there's more quality in some of these options that are what we call deeper in the money than the options that are above the stock price, all right? We refer to those as out of the money options, all right? That and so much more is to come, but I really wanted to spend just a couple minutes with you, sharing with you how I look at an option table. Thanks again. I'll see you in my next video. Bye now.